brain is playing games with you right now. As you listen to this, it's deciding whether to pay attention or to think about something else. And here's the strange part. The smarter you are, the more your brain might work against your English learning. Welcome to English Storytime. What I'm going to tell you will completely change how you think about why English feels so hard. Because the problem isn't that you're not trying hard enough. The problem is that you're trying in a way that your brain doesn't like. Today, we're going to solve the lazy brain problem. Why your mind can remember thousands of song words and movie quotes, but suddenly becomes forgetful when you open an English book. Why your brain can focus for hours on things you enjoy, but can't pay attention for 10 minutes to English grammar. But more importantly, we're going to learn how to beat this system, how to use your brain's own tricks to help you, how to make your mind think that learning English was its own idea. By the end of this episode, you'll understand that your brain isn't lazy. It's very smart. And once you understand its game, you can start playing by new rules. Here's something that will change everything for you. Your brain is not made for the modern world. It's made for staying alive in a world that doesn't exist anymore. Think about your ancestor 10,000 years ago. Their brain had one main job: keep them alive. Learning new things was dangerous because it meant using energy and attention on something that might not help them survive today. Your brain learned to ask one simple question about everything. Will this keep me alive today? Now, when you sit down to study English, your old brain looks at this situation and gets worried. It sees you using precious energy on something that doesn't seem to help your immediate survival. It sees you getting frustrated, making mistakes, and it thinks, this is dangerous. We need to stop this right now. So what does it do? It makes you sleepy. It makes you think about other things. It creates that feeling of not wanting to study. That voice that says, maybe I'll study tomorrow instead. Your brain is trying to save your life from what it thinks is a waste of energy. But here's the problem. Your brain is both very smart and very wrong. Smart because it's protecting you from stress and energy waste. Wrong because learning English is actually one of the best things you can do for your success and survival. Now, let me tell you about something even more interesting. Your brain has been trapped by the modern world, and this trap is making English learning almost impossible. Think about your phone for a moment. Every app on your phone is designed by teams of brain scientists whose job is to catch your attention. Social media, games, videos, they all give your brain instant rewards with no effort. Your brain gets used to this pattern. Little effort, big reward. It becomes addicted to easy, good feelings. Then you ask it to learn English, something that needs effort and gives slow rewards, and your brain says, no way. Where are my instant good feelings? This is why you can look at social media for hours without getting tired, but you feel exhausted after 15 minutes of English study. It's not that you're lazy. It's that your brain has been trained to expect instant pleasure. And English learning feels like punishment compared to that. But here's the amazing part. Now, let me tell you about something even more interesting. Your brain has been trapped by the modern world, and this trap is making English learning almost impossible. Think about your phone for a moment. Every app on your phone is designed by teams of brain scientists whose job is to catch your attention. Social media, games, videos, they all give your brain instant rewards with no effort. Your brain gets used to this pattern. Little effort, big reward. It becomes addicted to easy, good feelings. Then you ask it to learn English, something that needs effort and gives slow rewards, and your brain says, "No way. Where are my instant good feelings?" This is why you can look at social media for hours without getting tired, but you feel exhausted after 15 minutes of English study. It's not that you're lazy. It's that your brain has been trained to expect instant pleasure, and English learning feels like punishment compared to that. But here's the amazing part. Once you understand this game, you can use it to help you. You can trap the trappers. So, how do we beat this system? How do we make your brain want English the way it wants social media? The answer is something I call brain tricking, using your brain's own reward system to make English impossible to resist. First, let's understand what your brain really wants. It wants new things. It wants social connection. It wants to feel smart. And it wants immediate rewards. Traditional English learning gives you none of these things. It's repetitive, lonely, makes you feel stupid, and the rewards come months later. But what if we could give your brain all four things while learning English? Here's the first technique: hidden learning. You hide English inside something your brain already loves. Do you love cooking? Watch cooking videos in English. Love sports? Follow English sports channels. Love gossip? Read English celebrity news. It's like hiding vegetables in a child's favorite food. They get the good nutrition without knowing it. The second technique is social learning. Your brain loves social connection and approval. So make English social. Join English learning groups online. Comment on English videos. Share English posts. Your brain will start connecting English with social rewards instead of lonely struggle. Now, let's talk about the most powerful technique, the good feeling trick. This is how you train your brain to get excited about English instead of avoiding it. Your brain creates good feelings, not just when you get a reward, but when you expect a reward. This is why you feel excited when your phone makes a sound before you even see the message. We're going to use this same system for English. Here's how it works. Create tiny, immediate rewards for any English activity. Read one English sentence. Give yourself a check mark. Understand one English word. Celebrate for 5 seconds. Watch one English video. Add a point to your score. I know this sounds silly, but your brain doesn't care. It just wants those little good-feeling hits. After a few weeks of this, your brain will start getting excited when you open English materials because it expects those many rewards. But here's the advanced technique: random big rewards. Sometimes give yourself a bigger reward randomly. Maybe after your 5th English video this week, you get your favorite snack. Maybe after understanding a difficult English article, you buy yourself something small. Your brain loves unpredictable rewards even more than regular ones. This is why people get addicted to gambling and social media likes. We're going to make your brain addicted to English learning instead. Now, let me share something that most English teachers don't know about. Your brain's fight against English isn't the same all day. It changes based on your energy levels and mood. There are specific times when your brain is naturally more open to learning, and other times when it fights against any new information. If you try to force English learning during fight times, you're making it much harder for yourself. Here's what science tells us. Your brain is most ready for new learning right after you wake up, after physical exercise, and when you're in a good mood. It fights most when you're tired, stressed, or right after eating a big meal. So instead of forcing yourself to study English at the same time every day, start paying attention to your natural energy patterns. When do you feel most alert and curious? That's your golden learning time. But here's the clever part. You can also create artificial high-energy states for English learning. Listen to energizing music before you start. Do 10 jumping jacks. Watch something funny. Get your brain into a positive, energized state. Then immediately switch to English. Your brain will start connecting English with that positive energy instead of with tiredness and resistance. Let me give you 4 specific strategies you can start using immediately to beat your lazy brain. Strategy 1. The curiosity method. Your brain hates incomplete information. It has a natural need to close knowledge gaps. So instead of starting with, I need to study English, start with, I wonder what this English video is about. Or, I'm curious what this English article says. Frame English learning as satisfying curiosity, not as work. Your brain will pull you toward the English content instead of pushing you away from it. Strategy 2. The habit connection technique. Connect English to habits your brain already loves. While you drink your morning coffee, listen to English. While you exercise, play English podcasts. While you eat lunch, read English articles. Your brain already has positive feelings about these activities. When you connect English to them, it gets those positive feelings too. Strategy 3. The social proof method. Your brain is heavily influenced by what other people do. If everyone around you avoids English, your brain thinks avoiding English is normal. Your brain is testing your commitment. It's like a security system, checking if this new habit is really important to you. When you feel strong resistance, don't fight it directly. That just makes it stronger. Instead, use the minimum effort technique. Ask yourself, what's the smallest English-related thing I could do right now that would still count as progress? Maybe it's just reading one English sentence. Maybe it's listening to one English song. Maybe it's just opening an English app for 30 seconds. The goal isn't to learn a lot. It's to keep the habit alive and show your brain that English isn't going away. English begins to feel natural and automatic instead of forced and difficult. This is why consistency matters more than intensity. 15 minutes of English every day creates stronger brain pathways than 3 hours once a week. Your brain needs regular activation to keep those English connections strong. Let me paint a picture of what happens when you successfully beat your lazy brain patterns. After a few weeks of using these techniques, something remarkable occurs. Your brain stops seeing English as a threat and starts seeing it as an opportunity. Instead of avoiding English, you begin noticing it everywhere in movies, music, conversations, signs. Your brain develops what psychologists call selective attention for English. It automatically filters English information from your environment and presents it to your conscious mind. You start learning English passively just by living your normal life, but the change goes even deeper. Your brain begins to enjoy the challenge of understanding English. It starts getting excited when it recognizes patterns or understands new concepts. English becomes a source of pride and satisfaction instead of stress and frustration. This is when English learning becomes self-sustaining. You no longer need external motivation because your brain is now internally motivated. English has become something you want to do, not something you have to do. Let me share today's phrase with you. Something we do in every Coffee English episode to give you practical language tools. Today's phrase is, "It's all in your head." This phrase means that something is psychological rather than real, or that someone is imagining a problem that doesn't actually exist. But be careful. This phrase can sound dismissive, so use it thoughtfully. You might say, "I thought everyone was staring at me when I spoke English, but it was all in my head." Or the difficulty of English grammar isn't all in your head. It really is challenging for most learners. This phrase is perfect for our topic today because so much of English learning difficulty really is in your head. It's about how your brain sees and responds to the learning process, not about your actual ability to learn. Before we finish, let me give you the 3 most important insights from today's episode. First, your brain isn't lazy. It's protective. When it resists English learning, it's trying to save you from what it sees as wasted energy and potential frustration. Understanding this helps you work with your brain instead of against it. Second, you can trick your brain's reward system by connecting English to things your brain already loves. Social connection, curiosity, immediate rewards. You can make English learning feel natural and enjoyable instead of forced and difficult. Third, consistency rewires your brain. Every small exposure to English strengthens brain pathways and makes future learning easier. Your brain literally becomes better at learning English the more you practice, even in tiny amounts. The lazy brain problem isn't a permanent condition. It's a solvable puzzle. Once you understand the rules of the game, you can start winning. Here's your challenge for the next 7 days. Choose one brain-tricking technique from today's episode and use it consistently. Maybe you'll try hidden learning by watching English content about something you already love. Maybe you'll use the good feeling trick by creating tiny rewards for English activities. Maybe you'll experiment with habit connection by linking English to existing routines. The key is to pick one technique and really commit to it. Pay attention to how your brain responds. Notice when resistance decreases. Observe when English starts feeling more natural and less forced. Remember, you're not just learning English during this challenge. You're training your brain to enjoy learning English. You're reprogramming years of resistance patterns and creating new, positive connections. Document your experience. Notice the subtle changes in your attitude, energy, and motivation around English. These small shifts are evidence that you're successfully beating your lazy brain. This has been Coffee English, and we've just solved one of the biggest obstacles in language learning, your own mind. The lazy brain problem has been stopping English learners for generations. But now you understand the game. You know why your brain resists, and more importantly, you know how to change that resistance into enthusiasm. Your brain is an incredible learning machine. It just needed the right operating instructions. By using brain tricking, good feeling tricks, and strategic energy management, you're not fighting against your brain anymore. You're making it your most powerful ally. Remember, every expert English speaker once had a brain that resisted English learning. The difference is that they found ways to work with their psychology instead of against it. Now you have those same tools. Your English journey just got a massive upgrade. Not because English became easier, but because your brain became smarter about learning it. Until next time, keep beating that lazy brain. And remember, the biggest breakthrough happens when you stop fighting your mind and start working with it.